So take a look at this layout right here. So it's kind of boring behind the free scan section, right? It's just like a big empty white space area. And this is where we can integrate what I call embellishments. And they're just supporting graphics, and we're gonna use AI to generate the graphics. And I'll show you how to do it in a seamless way. And then because I'm running the 30-day AI-infused UI design challenge, I want you to take the same design and show me your own interpretation at DesignCourse.com in this 100% free challenge that we've been creating so far. Okay, so here's what I did. Essentially, you can use any AI tooling that you want, any generative image AI tooling. So that could be the one in Figma, that could be ChatGPT, that could be Midjourney, Gemini. There's so many right now. It doesn't matter. When you do submit your entry, though, just let me know what you used. Now, I decided just to use ChatGPT. So most people have ChatGPT. Here's what I did. I just basically pasted in a screenshot of the UI, and I said, use the color scheme from this layout and create an isometric representation of AI security and penetration testing. Place the illustration behind a black background. Not very specific. Let's see what the first result was. Okay, this is pretty boring, I have to say. And yeah, it looks cool, whatever, but it's generic as all living hell. And the reason this is because this is an iterative process. You know, you can't just accept the first thing it throws at you unless you get lucky. You need to really take time and make sure that the overall aesthetic matches the rest of the design. And this right here, it has the same colors, but it's generic. There's gonna be so many people with the same type of illustration. So what I decided to do is try to iterate on it more. Okay, so no, simplify this more, make it a single server and make it bitmap style. Okay, we're gonna try that approach. All right, I'm not really sure if that entirely matches up with everything that I'm doing on the current design. So I was like, okay, create an old school CRT monitor in an isometric perspective, monotone, only 2 colors, black and white, and it should be pixelated to black background. Okay, this is actually what it came up with. And this is kind of like a new recurring trend that's kind of happened within the past year or two in UI design. And I think it could actually work well. So how do we actually integrate this into the existing layout, especially because it doesn't have the same background color, and we want to be able to control the colors of this element too, but it's a raster graphic. So the first thing you do is just right click and copy this image, depending on where you're taking at. Again, you might be generating this within Figma itself, and that's okay too. Now, once we do this, I'm going to paste this in over here off the side. Next step, right here where it says remove background, we're going to click that because now, for a while now, Figma has had a remove background tool. And then what we can do is we want to click here and then click more and then click vectorize. Yes, this is a recent feature of Figma. We can now take a raster graphic, bitmap style, and create a vector version of it. And it's not really going to change up the aesthetic all that much. It'll still work with what we want. Okay, so now that we have our vectorized version, and by the way, it seems like it's like freezing my computer. You just have to escape a few times. Now what we want to do is drag it into that frame that we have. Now there's an overall frame, it's not inside, it's this one that we want it to go into. So I'm going to call this container. We're going to take our little vector graphic and make sure that container is inside of it, or it's inside of container rather. Okay, now we can go ahead and scale it down and position it in an area that perhaps maybe we think makes sense. Okay, so maybe it's right here. I think it's a little weird just to have, one graphic. So I was like, okay, let's create another same type of graphic in a similar method or a similar idea. And then we'll go ahead and play around with the colors. So if I go back to ChatGPT, I'll show you the next follow-up prompt that I did. I was like, okay, next, in the same exact style, generate a similar image of an old computer mouse with a cord, not a wireless mouse. Isometric style, black background, pixelated. All right, and this is what it came up with. And honestly, I think this would work just great. So same concept, I'm gonna copy the image. I'm gonna come out here, we're gonna paste it, we're gonna remove the background. So we're gonna wait in a second, and then we can go ahead, right click, or rather come over here, come more, and vectorize. So once this vectorizes, we're gonna throw it back into there. We're gonna place it in a way that makes sense to the composition of what's happening in that area. And then we're gonna play around with the colors, because that's the purpose of vectorizing this stuff. We can actually play around with the colors, and they're very easy to edit. So what I'll do is put it into container, and now I will scale this down, Perhaps we'll right click and flip horizontal, and maybe we'll put it like up here. All right, you don't want it to get in the way too much and distract from the primary call to action, which is right here. So in this case, we could leave it like this. Another thing that I chose to do is have a little background here. So this adds a watermark-based background here. It kind of gives more texture. So you're free to do something like that as well. And if you want to edit the colors, we can just select both of them. And you'll see under selection colors, we have a few different shades that are similar just because the vectorizer doesn't do everything perfect and it tries to match up different shades. But once you make those things that are supposed to be white, completely white, then you can go ahead and do something like this. You take that white color, so now they become less distracting. Now, I'm not saying your entry has to be like this. You can actually move these things around and play with whatever you want in terms of just creating these embellishment graphics in whatever style you want. Me personally, I think this is a pretty cool representation of what I'm looking for, but I don't want you to do the same thing. So here's how you actually submit. Simply go to DesignCourse.com. You go over here, click Start Now under the 2026 AI UI Design Challenge. Now you're going to see this page if you haven't participated yet. There's over 1,000 students participating in the last week, and we already have 343 submissions across the first 2 submissions. And then you click Get Started. It's going to have you create a free account. And then you can go ahead and you could take the first challenge if you wish, but you have to make sure download the 2026 UI UX Figma template. That's going to be the design that I just showed you. It's in there as a page. And then you can go ahead, back to Figma, create your variation of it, however you want, and you're going to see this one. All right, and then follow the instructions. So add embellishments and supporting graphics to the free scan section. You're free to use any AI generative tools. Ensure that the supporting graphics do not interfere and distract too much from that call to action button. And then use taste. This is the most important thing. Ensure that your design and your additions fit the overall style that's already established by the rest of the design. Don't just place in anything. If it looks off, it's probably off. Spend some time with it. That's going to be the most important thing going forward when everybody has access to AI tooling that can generate whatever they want. Now it's all about taste. Okay, and then once you're actually, you have your design, you can go ahead and read this part. All you have to do is just, you could share just a screenshot of your design, or you can include a Figma graphic as well, or a Figma link by clicking share. Come over here, copy prototype link. And then you can go back to the submission form for that third challenge, the embellishments challenge, and then just submit it, and I'll review it. Other people can review it, and we'll rate it, and we'll just all see what each other did in a really cool manner. So hopefully you participated in this. It's been really fun to see what people come up with, and I will see you with a review video tomorrow. Bye.